enroll for one of their dog-free bachelorettes. So my good friend Hannah gets married soon. I'm very happy for her, but despise her maid of honor. To me, she's a selfish bee. Our feelings are mutual. She is the cause. She of cause. She of course planned the bachelorette. I wasn't happy about it, but my friend picked her, so I reached out and told her I would love to help if she needed me to make food or buy something, etc. I specified that I would leave the planning to her, but she can delegate anything else. The first problem was her budget. She wanted everyone to give her $200 only for the bride. The personal cost would not be included. This was only for a single day, no hotel or anything. She has rich parents and doesn't work because her parents just gifted her a house. Most girls in the group struggle to make ends meet, even if they work full time. To me, the amount of money she demanded would not break the bank, but I wasn't willing to spend that kind of money plus my own share on a single day. I spoke out, but did this in private. She then wrote a super angry message to everyone telling us we would be a-holes because the bride would not be worth $200. She then cut costs so everyone was only paying $60. She tasked me with the food for the evening, which she told me right away would be on my own budget. Fine, I love preparing food and can't afford it. She changed her plans to have a small celebration at her home. She has a puppy and asked everyone about their fear of dogs. She offered to put the puppy in a different room if someone was afraid. She did not expect anyone to be afraid, I think. I mean, who doesn't love puppies? The problem is I'm allergic sometimes, and it's kind of fine, sometimes it's bad. Like I can't breathe bad. I texted her and explained the situation, but suddenly her offer wasn't on the table anymore. She told me to just celebrate outside. It would be freaking cold. I said I won't stand outside in the cold watching them party. Then she demanded I should take meds. They always make me extremely drowsy, and I would not be able to actually participate at all. Then she said I should just try it. My boyfriend would take an hour to get to hers to pick me up, so I would have to stay outside in the cold or suffocate inside, worst case. I called her out, and why the heck would she offer to put the dog away if she didn't want to do it? She agreed to the dog staying upstairs with her husband and me staying downstairs. I think she's an absolute horror of a person, but it is her home and it is her rules. I consider not going at all, but my friend would be hurt. There is no way I'm making the food when I'm not there. So am I the a-hole here? A lot of you guys were so kind to give me advice, so I'd like to give you an update. The Bachelorette went down this weekend, and sadly for the bride, it was a train wreck. We started in one of the maid of honor parents' properties where we had a fun photo shoot everyone liked. Then the maid of honor split us up into 4 groups and made us play an outdoor escape game. It was a free one and didn't work properly, and it was raining. She had one handcrafted drinks, but since we split up, only the girls of her team had drinks and snacks. The bride wasn't even in that team. After 3 hours of rain and shitty escape game, everyone was fed up and stopped and went to her place. We were frozen, wet, hungry, and sober. The bride was fuming. She said she would rather just have gone to a bar and drink her ass off. At the maid of honor, everyone devoured the food I brought, but since we were so cold and no real party had started, and the dog was loose after 2 hours, I took my meds and stuck around to finish my drink, then excused myself, claiming I was tired. I didn't plan to mention the dog. The bride deserved a party without drama. I will go back and hate the maid of honor in peace. Sadly, the bride knows I'm allergic. She owns a dog too, so she caught on. I told her it's not a big deal and we will celebrate even harder. NTA, but I contact the bride and tell her you are very sorry, but your allergies won't allow you to participate in the event. Invite her to a personal evening that won't endanger your health. Then tell the maid of honor you're out and she can take care of the food herself. NTA, if you're paying for the party and you're paying much more than the other guests, you deserve to not be a wheezing mess during the occasion. Although I'm not sure if her solution will work, if you're allergic to a dancer or fur unless she's vacuums or cleaning after moving the dog, you might still get a reaction. I'll suggest to the bride that she have a word with the maid of honor. A sitter would be more appropriate. NTA, she sounds really irritating, but if you think about it, if you got all your points through, when you wanted the cost to be reduced, she reduced it. And when you wanted her to put the dog away, she complained, but she ultimately doing it. So take yes for an answer and move on. NTA, if you decide to go on with enough medications, instant EpiPen, and a long-acting anti-allergy medication, so you can survive until the paramedics arrive, just in case. I don't know her, but I kind of don't trust her actually putting enough effort into cleaning and making it safe. I feel like she doesn't take your allergy seriously. NTA, but the dog will be downstairs. Guarantee it. Your friend clearly regards this situation, this whole Bachelorette thing, as her domain. And you are revolutionary nemesis. The very fact that she is so inconsistent in her arguing, saying the dog will stay upstairs and then immediately saying it will not, to mention telling you to spend the party outside in the cold, tells us that she's not going to let you interfere with how she sees this going. If you attend this party, she will make you unhappy. Count on it. Would I be the a-hole if I took half the money from my kids' accounts that I share with my ex-husband? My 30 female and ex-husband, 33 male, split up about 6 years ago, and I have 2 kids together. We are good friends, can talk to each other, attend parties together, eat at each other's houses, etc. We have a decent relationship, except when it comes to money. That was one of the reasons we split up. After moving to his country, he hid a lot of information about how much money we had. He would say one thing and do another. He did other shady things that I did not like. I do not hate him, I just hate that he put what he put me through, especially in a country that isn't my home country. It has an insanely tough language to understand and learn. Each kid has a joint account with both our names, mine, my ex, and the kid's name. The oldest has $35,000, about $5,000 USD, and the youngest has $17,000, about $2,500 USD. And I have been talking to my bank, researching and learning about investment accounts for the kids. From my understanding, the kids could stand to earn a lot additional money starting now. Both are under 10. It's time in the market, not timing the market. I spoke to my ex about this, giving him information I found online, printed documents from the bank, and my account manager's information so he can book a meeting with her. She is a friend of his family, so he knows her well. I gave him this information over 6 months ago. I've been asking him maybe once a month what he thinks, and he either said he doesn't understand it or he doesn't think it's a good time to get in the party. When I asked him if he wants me to make a meeting with the bank manager so she can explain everything again to both of us, he says not now, or he's too busy. I finally got him to semi-agree to an investment account, but he only thinks we should put $5,000, whereas I think we should put $15,000. I tried to compromise with $10,000, but he put his foot down at the max 5. The money in the oldest kid's account came from his parents when we first moved to his country. The youngest account has only been my contribution. He hasn't added to the account in over 6 years. I asked him about it once, and he said I told him I would put $500 a month into the account for when we first divorced. I was on a student allowance and had to take out loans to survive, so I doubt I said this. I want to take $15,000 out of each account, which would leave the oldest with $15,000 and the youngest with $2,000 in the joint account that my ex and I share. Then it lets him do what he thinks is best for the rest. For my share, I want to put $10,000 into an investment account and have $5,000 in savings with just my and my kid's name on it. Then after I do this, I will tell my ex because I'm afraid he would take all the money and make sure I don't do it at all. I want to set my kids up for the best possible options. Consider I had to offer financial literacy from my parents. Work hard, save money in the bank. And only in the last 5 years of self-teaching began to handle and becoming more financially literate and financially independent. You the a-hole. Maybe invest your own money and give the winnings to the children if you're 100% sure there is no risk. You the a-hole. This comes down to your ex disagree with your opinion about the money, so you just wanted to do it anyway. It's not even the money you put in. Sounds like mostly especially for the older kid, came from his parents, you should also get a second and third opinion, not just take the word of one banker and absolutely right thing to do. A lot of finance is subjective, and just because your friend says it's the best isn't necessarily true. Maybe your ex just doesn't want to put his kid's future in financial products that can lose value. Just because phrases like time in the market, not time in the market are clever and sound cool, doesn't mean that they're the best financial choice. Don't touch that money before you agree to do it. You the a-hole. This is a joint account. The decision has to be made jointly. It is not just yours or his. Like all the parenting decision involving change is also two yes and no situation. If you want more than 5K, he's okay with only 5K. Then any amount more than 5K stays in the account. Think about it this way. If he wanted to spend $15,000 on a house for the boys, confident that it was the right investment and what they needed, and you disagree, how would you feel if he took the money out anyway? How would that impact your relationship with your kids, your relationship with his kids, and the ability to co-parent properly? Unless you don't believe any decision you made could be wrong, the parallel should be clear. Everyone sucks there. Your kids are going to be the ones to suffer if you screw this up. If you need both parents to sign off on it or not, it is much better if you agree on what happens moving forward. Your ex clearly doesn't like to communicate on your level. But if you take your kids' money and somehow lose it, would it have been worth it?